What I do is I work with courageous people to disrupt the status quo culture, which is to say white supremacy culture, in their lives, on their boards, in their communities, in their organizations. When you take a group of people and you have them practice dominating other people for hundreds of years, they acquire a certain group identity that becomes unconscious. We're talking about power, the exertion of power over. So I spent a lot of time talking about this with the hopes that we can kind of disrupt the status quo culture of silence or fear around this topic, bring a little bit of lightness to it. The piece of feedback that I hear the most often is that I'm authentic. What it means to me is I know myself well enough to be able to kind of laugh at myself and bring a sense of gentility to this work. I find that truth-telling is a pretty radical act of resistance to the culture of the status quo that says don't be vulnerable, don't connect with people. So instead of coming from a place of judging or critique, you're just going to sit in love. And we're just practicing the audacity to connect in our shared humanity.
Laura, the facilitator, she makes a topic that could be really challenging to address, something that you feel you can approach and that you can speak of safely. You come away feeling empowered and not overwhelmed.
What is it that you really, really want to be or create in your relationship with justice? As you consider being a steward for justice in the world, what is it that you really want to be true about who you are or what you're creating? What is something that you really want, like your heart longs for it?
I think it's very important to be able to reflect on white supremacy and how we as white people benefit from these legacies and these histories of domination and exploitation. We're hard-pressed to get opportunities to face up to and to accept responsibility for the continued legacy of these systems, and this is a great session that I think everybody and anybody should attend.
Another tool that is really helpful for us is to have a vision of who and how we want to be. For some of you to practice vulnerability, you might have to shift the way that you relate your relationship with vulnerability, and that's kind of mind and heart work. In working with me, folks can count on a mix of really rigorous ass-kicking and playful, gentle, authentic connection and care. The way that white supremacy functions is to disconnect us from a sense of shared humanity. So what does it look like to invoke and invite radical connection?